Hey everybody, this is a video on my top, or the cons that I have with the Tundra. It's a follow-up to the video I posted earlier about my pros with the Tundra. And to start with the cons, let me just start by saying I love this truck. I really do. I've had 4 of them, so I really love the Tundra. But there's some things in it that Toyota just needs to update a little bit. And let's get the elephant in the room out of the way first. The number one con with a Tundra has got to be the gas mileage. The Tundra gets, I have a 2018 Tundra Crew Max with the off-road package, and it gets 13 in the city and 18 in the highway. That's horrible. I average about 17, and that's just horrible. That's very bad. Toyota really needs to do something about that and update it. The number 2 con I have with the Tundra is parking or driving. It can be, I've driven a truck for 20 years, but driving a full-size truck, it can be really difficult to pull into a tight parking space or to pull into any parking space. And if you own a truck, you know exactly what I mean. I typically end up parking away from everybody else or backing into a spot and using the backup camera. But it's not the most fun vehicle in the world to drive in a large city, amidst lots of traffic or with narrow lanes. So that's my number 2 con with the Tundra. Number 3 is it's just with the is a lack of technology, and that's a lot of different things. One, it's missing a full camera coverage, and for such a large truck, you would think it would have a 360-degree camera to where you can see around all sides of your truck. It's especially helpful when you're parking, but we just have a backup camera. The competitors to the Tundra have the full 360 camera. So that's something that's really lacking in the Tundra. The second thing that's lacking is it has an antenna, a physical antenna. Most vehicles now have the little shark fin on top, and they've done away with the physical antenna. So it just seems like technology from 5 years ago. The third thing is the Tundra doesn't have a push button start. It has a physical key, which is very surprising. I had a 2017 Tacoma, and it had the push button start. I haven't used a physical key in a vehicle in years until I came back to the Tundra. So it's a little disappointing. I hope they update that in their next model refresh. Another thing it doesn't have remote start. These are just things that I consider should be normal on a vehicle that costs $50,000. It should have the full camera coverage. It should have not a physical antenna. It should have push button start. So that's just kind of frustrating. Some things that need updating is like the head unit, the navigation, the radio. It's just on the small side for a full size truck, and it could really stand to be updated. It doesn't have Android Play or CarPlay or Apple CarPlay. It's okay. It's not good, and it's not current. It feels very dated. And the other thing, the speakers, they just are not very loud, and they're not of good quality. I know that I could have got the upgraded JBL audio system, but the regular audio system in here is really, really kind of poor. Again, if you spend $50,000 on a truck, I just kind of expect a little bit better radio quality there. Another con with the Tundra is the driver's grab side handle. This is missing. It doesn't come on new Tundras, so I had to order that and install that myself. Sparks Toyota out of Myrtle Beach has a good part on that. I think it cost about $150 to have it shipped in. But still, something like that should come standard. It used to come standard on the Tundras to maybe around 2013, 2014 timeframe. Then for some reason, it just disappeared from Tundras. The fifth con that I have with the Tundra is storage, or particularly lack of storage. And the Crew Max has less storage under the rear seat than the double cab does. The double cab has some really cool storage bays that go in that, or options that you can have there. The Crew Max, they took that away. And speaking of that, in the models, say 2013 or 14 and previous, you could fold down the back of the rear seat and have access to a little bit of storage space behind it. Now that's taken away. The rear seat just stays at a certain angle. You can fold up the bottom seat, but instead of having storage there, they've raised the platform, raised the bottom of the floor. So in order to put in, say, some aftermarket storage, they have to cut into that foam and then place their units in it. It's just stuff like that should be standard on your truck. It's like they went out of their way to avoid having that there. Another thing is bed liner, either like a plastic bed liner or a spray-in bed liner. again, you would think if you spend that much money on a vehicle, a truck especially, it's going to come with something like that, because we all use our trucks for trucks, and we don't want to get it scratched up and dinged up if we can help it. So again, that kind of stuff should be standard on all Tundras. And then finally, my last con is the wheel and tire package. The plus of that is, it's the same wheel and tire package you can get on the TRD Pro, but those tires are just not very, they don't look aggressive enough. They're not off-road worthy enough. They come with Michelin LTX A2s, which is an all-terrain tire. That's great. It doesn't look like it belongs on a big truck. So if that kind of makes sense. I wish there were more options there that we could choose from at time of purchase, to have better looking rims, better looking tires, or more aggressive tires, maybe some BFG KO2s. I have Nitto Grappler G2s on mine. Just something better than what comes with it default from Toyota. And that's about it for my list of cons with a Tundra. I know that's a lot, but I really love the truck. But these are the things I'd like to see Toyota look at improving in a future release. Thanks for watching, and always please like and subscribe. Thank you.